welcome back. Boone Headshot here, bringing you a 10 Priory. We are missing the first poll here. My recording software decided that it wasn't going to do what I wanted it to do. We missed out on the first poll, but moving into the second poll here, you'll notice we are running with a Subtlety Rogue. This will be a good comparison between the two specs. This rogue here is, I think, one item level lower than me. At the beginning of this video, I think I was 658, he was 657, or I was 659, he was 658. But we are running the bleed build for this one. Priory is an excellent dungeon where most of the polls are 5 or more targets for a good portion of the fight, excluding the bosses, but we'll talk about that when we get to them. This week's affix is the Dark Prayer, where she spawns and you have to kill her before she finishes her cast. It's a little DPS raise. And it's very good for the bleed build as well. As you see, it's out now. It's just an extra rupture that'll help you with it, and you should be able to cleave it down in time as long as everybody's helping you kill it. But because the bleed build is so strong with an extra target, or with more targets, this is a great week to be running the bleed build in most of the dungeons. That being said, quick recap for the bleed build is to manage your 3 bleeds. You have 3 of them: Garrote, Rupture, and Crimson Tempest. And even in single target, you want to throw Crimson Tempest with this build. So always have those 3 running on as many targets as you can. And remember that Scent of Blood increases your damage up to a cap of 5 ruptures. So you're going to want to counter somewhere that's telling you how many ruptures you have. If you look at my weak aura, it will tell you whenever I have a rupture out how many ruptures are applied. You want at least 5. You can have an extra somewhere, but you're not going to see too much more damage coming out after that, and it starts to become a DPS loss if you're spending too much time applying ruptures and not enough time throwing out envenoms. So 5 ruptures and then envenom spams is the way you play it. So now that we've got most of the basics out of the way there, we've chosen to go for the lieutenant on the left-hand side of the dungeon as you're coming in. Makes it into a defensive fight when we go to the first boss. There are 3 lieutenants that you can kill on the way to the first boss that kind of change how that boss works. So we'll talk about more of that as we kind of get closer to it. But for now, we killed the altar, and you'll also notice we ran around those light spawns down there. I love this route that the tank's taking.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Those light spawns are a real pain, at least in the 10, and I'm sure they're going to be worse as we get into higher keys. But they do a channel on you, and that channel hurts real good. You got to throw defensives on it, and when they die, they explode and heal everything around them. So they're kind of a pain. You have to kill them last. But the route that we just ran, as you saw, we stayed on the grass and avoided them entirely. So
I can't believe that
props to our tank's route, because it's excellent.
And they're like, oh no, we'll finish our walk and then we'll go back.
They're on exercise. They're coming back. Don't worry.
We got to get our steps up first.
Yeah.
You can hear them in the background there, my tank and some of the other players that I am enjoying Mythic Plus with this season. Great group of guys. So you might hear them come through, but talking about this boss now. So if we went the other way, you have to deal with these circles during the boss fight. Because that lieutenant is the one that would stay with the boss when the others peel off to come fight you one-on-one.
I'm saving my kick for the Cinder Blast. That's and I wipe with what I'm gonna. So feel free to get the everything else.
And so,
Yeah,
while it's a little bit easier of a fight defensively because there will be less damage as long as you're avoiding those circles, it's more chaotic because of those circles. If you get hit by one, it's game over. And so many people choose to go down the left side to kill the altar boss, to peel this guy, to make the boss fight a little bit less chaotic, but
damage.
more technical. So keep that in mind. Depending on your comp, you might see somebody head for the right and go for the forge, but it's going to be a more uncommon route. Just because these circles are a pain to try to handle.
Well, it's taking forever, doesn't it?
In the background, you can hear us talking about how much health those lieutenants have. I can't stress enough that you kill the lieutenants in a pack of the regular trash mobs to make it go faster. You'll see a lot of beginning tanks just solo those lieutenants down, and it can be a big time waster. So grab those lieutenants and put them in a pack with something else. As we move on to the boss, because of how we chose to kill off the lieutenants, we are left with the ad that will do the holy pulse damage. You'll see it go out here soon. Just throw feint. You can also throw cloak if you're in a bind, but there's the damage there. And then you avoid the spear from Dalecry himself. The red line will be on the ground. You simply sidestep it. As the bleed cleave, 2 targets with the occasional affix target this week should give you a pretty good amount of DPS for this fight. Bleed cleave suffers the less targets there are, so we're kind of lucky this week to run bleed against this boss. It will give us a boost. So you can see it coming out there, and I'm throwing out as many bleeds on it as I can. And then just from there, it's just watching your timers. All 3 bleeds on all the targets for as much uptime as you can. And in between that, it is envenoms. You can use Shiv during Darkest Nights just to give you a little bit more envenom damage, but throw your Shivs out when you've got all 3 bleeds up on both targets for the most utilization of that ability.
Bleeding.
Hopefully your cooldowns are coming back for this next pull. It can be a bigger pull. The Paladins should be your priority target. The Consecration that they throw out is not fun, and if enough of it comes out, it kind of becomes a challenge. So, again, 5 bleeds, Garrotes on as many targets, Crimson Tempest, and there goes the cooldowns. Shiv, Deathmark, and we hit Envenoms for about halfway through that. Vanish just went out. We reset the improved Garrotes. We throw out a couple more Ruptures, and we throw our second Shiv during the back half window of that Deathmark, and we just keep throwing Envenoms after that. So everything should start dying pretty quick. Sudden Demise procs will help you here too. That is one alternative to this build. You can always throw the Shivs when they're getting closer to dying, and they'll just execute because of the Sudden Demise execute proc that can happen. So that is a talent that you can leverage if the timing's right. But with so many there, I just went, and there you can see me checking it. It didn't do very much because I did not save the shivs for the end of the health. So, but still did a ridiculous amount of damage. So, a lot of different ways to play the bleed build. It's a very fun spec. I highly recommend it right now until they either change it or make the other one stronger. There are some situations where hybrid is still going to be king on some places, and in the higher keys there is a single target with some cleave spec that will probably be king as you get into like the 15s, but when we get there we'll talk about those. For now we're just enjoying making everything bleed to death, so watch those consecrations and interrupt the priests when you can. One of the
Fucking oath we do. You're gonna finish
one of
really well
the things you can abuse with those consecrations is the damage comes out slowly, so you can stand in it for a half second to a second before it hits you. Examples would be like if I need to go in and get that priest out of consecration, I can run in and kick him and get out before it starts to hurt me. So it is slow ticking damage, but it does hit you pretty hard. So don't be too greedy if you stand in it without cloak.
I'm already fucked. I might as well just AFK. Probably sitting there like playing Pokemon trading card game or something because he's a nerd. Playing Magic the Gathering with Simplex.
That's a good game.
Nope. That means you're a gamer, man. Gamers are definitely not nerds. Oh, some are. Some are. I feel like nerds are smart, and not all gamers are smart.
Oh, I had that kick. So you got that guy. I was going around that corner to get that kick.
If you guys time this key, can you both trade the priest and type gold in chat?
He owes us gold.
Alright, the second boss of this dungeon, Sebron Pike. Does a couple things, and he's got an energy bar that slowly charges up, and when his energy bar is full, his things that he does becomes a little bit more empowered. So the big one is to take care and take notice of Sacrificial Pyre, which is going out right now. When he's empowered, there are 5 of the little starbursts that you have to pop. Whenever he is just in normal phase there, it's only 3. So what you can do as a rogue is you can pop one, and you can cloak the damage that gets applied to you off, and pop a second one if needed.
What was the healer saying about not doing
I don't recommend that unless you absolutely have to in an emergency, because you can save cloak to save you from those hammers that come down.
Was it doing Stokes? That's the hammer?
That's what I mean, the soaks, like...
Because those hammers will drop you.
No, don't worry about that.
The last thing that he does is a big AoE that will hit the ground, and you have to run out of before it explodes. So, tank strategy is to pick one side of the room and wait for the hammers and move to the other. That way the spinning hammers doesn't take out the party.
The only thing I think of is if you hit it at once, it does like a...
He has one interruptible cast.
A stacking debuff.
So as long as you've got somebody that can do it from range, that's ideal. Otherwise, you might have to be the emergency with cloak to run in and get it. A lot of people disregard the Pyre's mechanic. If you ignore it, it will explode and wipe the raid. So definitely be mindful of that. Be watching for that, and make sure that everybody gets in it. If you take consecutive hits from the
Flags haven't
starburst
gained
from
any
going in
IO
it
this
without
week. He
dropping
must
that
have
damage,
plateaued last week.
it will most likely kill you. And there you saw my mistake of hitting that hammer, but cheat death is your friend here.
Priest is dead.
You won't miss him.
I do. So I fixed that button. I don't think we killed in time. Sure did.
No, you didn't.
It's on these single target fights you can really see the subtlety rogue shining.
He's wrathful.
He
Very
did a
wrathful.
great job here on this boss. So
Hammering.
What's the IO on the priest, please?
2230.
And the item level? Flex has a week or it would tell us.
You busy?
You're always too busy to tell me things.
Yep.
Nerd.
Yeah, fuck nerd.
Yeah, fuck nerd.
Fuck you, cause that's why.
I think it's because fuck you, that's why.
Okay, sorry. I tried.
You got flustered, you got your words mixed up.
Uh-huh.
as we move into this room, we will start having to deal with those light spawns that we skipped. Here is the first one coming out. You do not want it to be your priority target as DPS. It can just take cleave damage. You can see its channel that was going out on somebody, and a couple people went down from standing in consecration there. But
What happened? Volley. And
the
Toll.
light spawn
Volley and Toll.
needs to be the last thing that dies here.
I feel like this one needs to go on your YouTube.
I am recording it. We'll see what happens here.
Because you're kind of like out pumping that other rogue by a fair bit at the moment.
Can't move him. No, I don't really want it. Too many casters. Well, maybe we need it for time. I don't know. We're getting it. There, that's good lust.
Lust goes out here as we pull the patrol that walks in a circle around the middle of the room. Vanish is about to come out. I'm watching that. As soon as it does, you'll probably see that go out, and cooldowns, which I think are about to come back there. Looks like Death Marker is about to be
no
back,
stops.
so I am waiting for that most likely here.
Well, I can't even afford drops. I've got no gold left.
No, I'm definitely saving since they're all almost dead. But haste is such a good friend to the bleed build. If it is something that you are maining, like you're not worried about any of the other ones, you could prioritize some haste
Don't
over
die.
crit,
Oh, let's do this first.
but I only recommend that if you have a deep understanding of the class. So
Drink anyways.
keep all of that in mind. Going back into Brawn Pike again, mini boss. He just does some pulsing AoE damage the entire time he's alive. You can use feint to mitigate a good portion of it.
Very dark in here. We'll drop a silence sigil here. Now do a chain. I don't know, silence sigil. I think do that one first.
So to recap, all 3 bleeds: Shiv,
FX, where's
Caustic Spatter,
It's
and
coming.
Venoms.
It's here.
Vanish went out to
Oh, we're
reapply
done.
all
Pretty good.
of the
Silence sigil
improved
right now, so I can
growths.
pull the other pack.
And
I
you'll
guess
see some
LOS,
sudden
actually.
demise kind of working there as they get down to like 7% health. They just die. If you've got all 3 bleeds up with Shiv, it's pretty crazy what you
Oh, it's
can
even better. Perfect.
what you can do with that little talent.
Yeah, me too. I thought about it. Drop a silence sigil here. Fucking FX. We're doing it.
All right, moving on to the final boss.
Do you want mana? No.
She's got an interruptible. There it went out. She does an AoE right there. She also does an interesting mechanic where you have to actually turn your character away. You can't have her in your line of sight. So you have to turn your back to her during the cast. There it is, blinding light. So you can spin at the last second, spin back around, and keep going. You saw a laser come out from the altar above her. That will focus somebody and leave scorched earth on the ground behind it. So be careful where you run it. As you can see right now, he completely cut off the stairs. I believe it goes away in time, but be mindful of where you're at when it comes out. And try not to make it harder on the team if you get targeted with it. Phase 2 happens at 50% health. She will run up to the higher platform. You have to run up those stairs to deal with it. And a bunch of ads come out. Those ads do a percentage damage to you if you are close to them. And if there's a bunch close to you, you will get deleted. You can use Cloak of Shadows. I highly recommend it. That you vanish with Cloak and get bleeds on them all as quickly as possible, and then slam a Shiv to get rid of them as quickly as possible. And you'll see that here. If you mess it up, which I do you will see just how quickly they drop you. So time your cloak. Make sure you've got something, or you're counting out your 6 seconds of cloak.
Oh, they're there.
So that you can survive. So I evasion and I do not hit cloak here, which was my mistake,
shield?
and I just disappear. So
Why
don't forget to use Cloak of Shadows whenever those guys come up.
There it is, finally. Ooh, that was close.
I missed out on a bunch of damage there with Vanish
hold on.
and getting bleeds out. So they slowly die over time. They take the same pulsing damage that the party's taking from the mechanic of the boss.
Oh, okay.
And just, yeah, make sure that you are watching that. When you've got the laser on you like that, which I do, I try to get it out of the way and off to the side. So aside from that little hiccup, pretty good run here going.
We got it. Oh, to the front. Turning. Blinding, very blinding. Okay. We only need one on this one, maybe? Oh, the shaman got it. That's good. Oh, you got that one?
But that is pretty much the fight here. As you saw at the beginning, we parsed, even with that mistake, we parsed a 97 for the key. So not too bad running the bleed build in this 10. I appreciate you guys sticking through it and watching the whole thing.
We did it.
Be sure to check the streams in the morning, guys.
So you could have came.
I will see ya on the next one.